of Stories. My name is Melinda, and today is Tuesday, so it is Tag Tuesday. And this week I am doing the song tag, all about music tag. Sue Jackson tagged me in this, and I saw a lot of people do this one, and I was a little afraid of it, but now I have to do it because I've been tagged. So let's see what I come up with. There are 7 questions plus tag people. So I will tell you right now, I did a quick search of a bunch of people that I follow, and most of them have already done this tag. So we're gonna do my usual tag on this one, but we'll get there. The first question, name a song that always makes you happy. That song for me would be Over the Rainbow. I don't care who performs it, just that song. When I was, I don't know, I was less than 3. I do know that because we were living not in the house that I spent the bulk of my childhood, but the house before that. So I was less than 3 years old. It was the first time I saw The Wizard of Oz because CBS used to air it once a year, and it was a big deal, you know, before everyone could just watch whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. So my parents always made a point to put that show on for me. So I loved The Wizard of Oz, and Over the Rainbow has always been my favorite song. In fact, when I got married, I walked down the aisle to Over the Rainbow. So I don't care who sings it. I just love it. I forgot to mention, I would really love to be able to put in video clips or clips, whatever, of all these songs. I can't really do that, so I'm just going to link below to maybe some videos of the particular songs. But I think everyone knows Over the Rainbow. So there you go. Question number 2. Name a song that's a great fit for when you're in a pensive mood. This was kind of a hard one for me. Because I listen to a lot of instrumental music, and I actually don't listen to music as much as I used to because I'm always trying to catch up on podcasts and audiobooks. But I realized one song that I have in the past, and even when I put it on to kind of listen to it in preparation for this tag, I was like, oh man, I really love this song. It's called This Shirt by Mary Chapin Carpenter. It's just a beautiful song, kind of nostalgic. I've always really loved that song. So there was a point in my life where I almost played it continually. So I'll say it's This Shirt by Mary Chapin Carpenter. Question 3. Name a song that changed your taste in music. So this was a hard one. I kind of had to think because my music tastes have changed over the years. I've been in different genres and whatever. But I do remember when I was probably, I don't know, I was elementary school. I was maybe 2nd or 3rd grade. And my parents went out, and one of the teenagers in the neighborhood came over to babysit me, and we had cable. And this was a time when not everybody had cable. It was actually more often than not people didn't have cable. And she did not have cable. So the first thing she did when she came over to babysit me was turn on our television and tune to this news channel called MTV. And the first song and music video that I heard was, I think it was Karma Chameleon by Culture Club, and that's confusing on a lot of levels. But the one that I really remember, because I was just kind of like, what is this when I first saw it? Because I had never seen anything like a music video. I wasn't really confused by Culture Club, mostly because I thought Boy George was a girl. Whatever. But the first song that I saw, which was probably the second song that I saw, the first one I saw that I liked was Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper. So whenever that song came out, whatever year that was the year that this happened, because that was a new release at the time. So I'm going to say it was a good old Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper. Question 3. Oh, that was question 3. Let's go to question 4. Name a recent song that you've just discovered and loved. So, as I said, I don't listen to the radio in the car or at home. I'm usually listening to podcasts or audiobooks. Where I kind of hear new music a lot is in the movies. I have a Spotify playlist for the family where I put like movie scores that we all know, and then everyone tries to guess what they are. And I do remember, and this was in the last year, so I'm going to consider it new. This was in the past year. We had gone as a family to see Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, it's a movie that has some good points in it, but it's also a movie that kind of makes me mad, and generally I think it's just sort of an okay movie. But one scene in particular, and this is an amazing scene, and I honestly think this scene alone is worth the price of admission, but there's 2 Doctor Stranges, they're fighting each other, this isn't really a spoiler, and there's like a piano or something, and there's sheet music, and the sheet music falls, and the notes start flying, and they start like battling each other with like classic pieces of music. And there's a beautiful, just an amazing score. I think Danny Elfman did the score of it, but he did just an amazing job scoring the music to that. Hopefully I can find a video clip of this on YouTube. It is not a spoiler really for the movie to see it, but the way they did the scene and the way they scored the music to it was just amazing. And we're watching the movie, and my daughter leans over to me and she's like, "This needs to go on the playlist, Mom." So the first thing I did when we got home was I looked up this music and put it on the playlist. Do you remember what the name of that section? You don't? Okay. I'll have to look it up and see what it was, but it's from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I believe it is Danny Elfman who scored it. Question 5. Yes, question 5. Name 3 bands or artists that you love. I love Mary Chapin Carpenter. You're gonna hear how weird my music tastes are. Mary Chapin Carpenter, ABBA, just because I love to torment my kids with ABBA music, and Lin-Manuel Miranda. We always have like Hamilton stuff going on, and I just love his like really snappy lyrics and the way he really captures the music really well. And if you listen to the score of Hamilton, and you don't pay attention so much to the story, but just the words and the score and the music, and if you have kind of a background in music theory, that's a pretty amazing piece of music that he wrote in Hamilton. So he's much more accomplished than I think people really give him credit for. But I love to listen to what he writes. I also love to see him perform, because whatever he performs, and he performs so many different things, and whenever he performs, he just does it with his heart. So that's why those are my 3. Mary Chapin Carpenter, because I think she speaks to my soul. ABBA, because it annoys my children. And Lin-Manuel Miranda, because he performs with his heart and soul. There you go. Okay, question 6. What instrument would you like to play? I grew up playing 2 different instruments. I don't play them now because I don't practice. I was never great at practicing, and there you go. But I grew up taking piano lessons, and I played the violin for a while in school. I had better luck. I was more talented, I think, at the violin than I was at the piano. But, my violin instruction was limited to just like orchestra in school. And sometimes you have great orchestra teachers and sometimes you don't. And I had both. But at the time going into high school, where I had to make the decision, is this something I want to continue with or not? My orchestra teacher at the time was not one of the better ones, and I made the choice to give it up. I still have my violin somewhere. If my kids had ever decided to take violin, which I don't even think they offer in the schools here now, we would have one waiting, but we do have a violin. And as for the piano, my parents bought a piano when I started taking lessons, and it's down in Arizona in my father's place right now, and he keeps threatening to ship it up to us. We are going to get it at some point, but we don't have it yet. Now, the other instrument that I studied is when I was in college, I took voice lessons, and I love to sing. I'm not going to sing for you. I'm not super comfortable singing in public or on my own, but I did take voice lessons for 4 years. And I really enjoyed it. And if I were like to say, if I'm going to be a virtuoso at something, the magic wand's going to come down and give me the talent to be a musical virtuoso at something, I would definitely say it would be singing, and to have the confidence to sing in front of people. And finally, name a fiction book with music at the center of the narrative. So my first thought that came into my head for this one was The Violent Conspiracy by Brendan Slocum. But as I was watching people do this video, almost everyone had The Violent Conspiracy by Brendan Slocum. So I'm not going to suggest that one. I went through my read list and thought about all the different books, and I wasn't seeing anything. And then I remembered this book. This is The Beautiful Mystery by Louise Penny. And this is book 4 or 5-ish. I can't remember exactly. It's at about that point in the Armand Gamache series. And it is set in a monastery. And this monastery is very reclusive. They don't let people into it, but they've recently achieved a level of fame because a recording was made of the monks chanting and singing. And there's like a special chord that they know. And there's a lot about music in here. The plot is not necessarily about music. There is a murder, which is sort of tangentially related to the music, but then with the overarching storyline involving the continuing characters, there's a lot with that in this book. But music does play a big part in this particular volume in the Armand Gamache series by Louise Penny, and it is beautiful. I love this one. This was probably, if I had to rank them, this would probably be my like second or third favorite book in the series. It's quite a lovely and heartbreaking book. So that's the music tag, and I will say it was far less painful than I thought to do it. As I said, I went through to try to find people to tag, and almost everybody I know who I follow a lot has already done this tag, and I didn't just want to tag one person because that's kind of pointed and it can be a little awkward. So I'm just gonna say, if you haven't done this tag, please do it. That's my usual tag thing. I'm not one to really push the tags, although I will tag people. But because of this one, because it's been so widely done at this point, I'm just gonna say, if you haven't done it, I would love to see you give it a try. Please tag me so I can see it. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.